You know, if this guy didn't exist, I probably wouldn't be sitting here tonight. I'd like to bring out my dad. No, I'm just... Because he was one of the pioneers of late-night television. He does so many things so well, it's difficult to believe there's only one. But there is. And I think we ought to get him out here right now. Steve Allen! Steve Reelin! How many songs have you written?
I keep reading the figure 4,000, but that, if it was ever correct, could only have been correct for about 3 days because I write 2 or 3 a week. So probably more than that over the years.
Is there ever a time you're not doing anything?
No. Right now I'm not doing very well, but other than that... no, really, I lie down and sleep. In fact, I sleep more than anybody. I need about 11 hours a night.
Do you?
Yeah, but I never can turn off my brain, and why should I? I have a little tape recorder with me at almost all times.
Is it with you now? Do you have it?
No, I left it upstairs. I wouldn't mind that, but it's dictating to itself. It has I'll find 3 poems and a short story when I go up there. But all seriousness aside, as I get tired of hearing myself saying, my brain is always going. It's either a joke or a poem or short story, a suicide note, whatever they need.
What kind of kid were you, Steve?
I was an adorable kid.
just fantastic.
That's an interesting... I've never been asked that question. May I congratulate you?
You're certainly welcome.
Because
thank you.
Seriously, most talk show hosts ask you the same questions for 57 years. But my mother's family, among whom I was reared, used to call me Sweetie.
You were Sweetie?
That was my nickname. Unfortunately, they called me that till I was about 18. It was very embarrassing on streetcars in Chicago. Sweetie, you want to sit down? Who are these 2 strange women? I don't know them. But it does tell you what kind of a kid I was. I was adorable.
And at what point did you start saying to yourself, you know, I'm funny, I'm making people laugh. I enjoy making people laugh.
That would be last Tuesday. Somewhere along in there. Well, I remember getting laughs as a child. No, seriously, I got laughs as a boy. I also got a few laughs as a girl once, but that's about it. But I'm sorry I'm talking like a nut. You know why?
No.
Because I'm exhausted. I am sillier when I'm tired.
And you're just a little bit... I mean, you've written 5 books in the last 6 months or something? You've got... this is the hottest 2 that I've seen. Steve Allen, Murder in Manhattan.
Yes.
Which is obviously a novel.
It's a murder mystery novel, yes. A whodunit, as we say.
The Public Hating, now that's an interesting title.
That's a collection of short stories, and The Public Hating is not only the title of the book, but the title of one of the short stories. It's about a mass hating in Yankee Stadium in New York because it's placed in the future, science fiction. The country has, we assume, outlawed capital punishment by the conventional methods, but every so often the people get so angry at a particular offender that they've got to do something to vent their spleen. So they gather about 80,000 people together, and they hate this criminal to death.
You are twisted, and yet you put it in writing, and that's so neat. Could you do one of your famous dramatic readings for us?
A poetry reading?
Yes, a poetry reading. A famous Steve Allen poetry reading when we come back. This is back with Steve Allen, the man who started it all in late-night television, and I think so, at least, Steve.
Well, I'm here tonight to finish it. That's what I think.
The Ha Channel, you actually owned all the Steve Allen shows. You put them in a vault, and then your son, Bill, did he coerce you into releasing this to the Ha Channel?
No, I was very happy to permit the shows to get back into the marketplace. For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, in the late 1950s, for 4 years, I did a primetime comedy series, sketch comedy series, for NBC, and we are now delivering 100 shows of that series. They're already on the air around the country on the Ha TV cable channel.
And you're the only guy who ever really made a serious run at Ed Sullivan, you know.
True.
And
outside of a couple of cab drivers I know in New York, but on TV, you're right.
Look at the Ha Channel, Steve Allen. Look at this.
That's embarrassing.
Do you even remember that night?
Oh, I'll never forget it because they've been playing that clip of film at me for about 30 years now.
Really?
But I think the reason I still laugh when I see it. I think the reason we all laugh at that is we've all been in that predicament. Psychologists call it the laughing in church syndrome. You're laughing more because you know you're not supposed to be laughing at all.
Right. Or at a funeral, at church, and all that.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, let's get into this. This is a one and only dramatic reading Mr. Steve Allen.
Well, from time to time, I do this as a public service because I think in the rock music field, the lyricists often get short shrift. A lot of the singers scream. You can't make out all the words. They have to scream because the music is so loud. If they don't, you won't hear it at all. But the lyricists get a bad break. So from time to time, I recite, and this is the actual words of one of the big rock hits of all time.
Of course.
By the Rolling Stones. May I have a little patriotic or religious music? No tempo, a little slower. Good. This has nothing to do with it, but it'll clear your palate, as we say. I can't get no satisfaction. I can't get no satisfaction. I can't get no satisfaction. 'Cause, C-U-Z, 'cause I try, and I try, and I try. And I try. But I can't get no satisfaction. I can't get no. Hey, hey, hey. That's what I say. And I can't get no satisfaction. I can't get no satisfaction. Now, when I'm watching my TV and that man comes on and he tells me how white my shirts can be, well, he can't be a man because he don't smoke the same cigarettes as me. And I can't get no satisfaction. That's enough. That's the idea.
Steve Allen!